Hi, I'm Roamy. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Mini Monkey baby carrier to carry an older baby. So I've already made a video that shows you how to use the carrier with a newborn, but when they get bigger, the carrier will become a little bit short because it needs to go onto the higher setting. So I'm going to show you how to adjust it for that higher setting. So here I've got the Mini Monkey baby carrier. So you want to hold it with the white label facing away from you so that the Mini Monkey tag is facing towards you, and then what you're going to do is just fold that over so the white writing goes against your tummy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it around first before I adjust it because I find it a bit easier to do that. So bring that round behind, clip it together and just wriggle the strap sideways to tighten it up. Now I'm going to put this around my waist for now, but I'll talk to you about different heights for it in a minute. Now at the minute we've got this set for the newborn height, so for littler babies. When baby gets bigger, this is how we adjust it. So at the minute, I don't know if you can see, but you've got part of the panel is kind of all folded down in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to just move this teething pad just out the way. So just undo the Velcro and just lift it up. And then if you look on the back, on the front of the clip, you can see, front of the strap, you can see there's a little clip piece here. Behind it, there's a little Velcro tab. So what you're going to do is just undo that Velcro tab. And what this will do when you pull it undone is it will basically lengthen the height. So if you look on this side compared to here, you can see that's now all lengthened. So I'm going to undo that completely and then do this up onto the Velcro just above here. So if you look on there, you've got a big Velcro pad. You're going to do that up onto here and then bring that fabric back over the top of it like that, and then slide your teething pad back down. Okay, so I've done this on one side. So if I hold it up, you can see this side's shorter and this side's taller. So I'm going to do the same on this side here. So again, I'm going to undo the teething pad like that and just shift that up out the way like that. And I'm going to go around to the back, undo that Velcro tab like that. So completely undo it. And then I'm going to do it back up to the higher position, and it completely matches up. So you've got this bit of the kind of hooky side of the Velcro and then the panel there. So you're going to do that up onto here and then bring that piece of just material back over the top. So now if I hold it all up, you can see that's way taller than it was, and this piece of material is now all straight rather than folded down like that, which is how it was before. So once you've done that, just bring this teething pad back down again. Just going to slide this over and it Velcros on to this piece just here. So just check that's nicely in position on both sides. I haven't quite got that one on there. Bring that down and then it Velcros into position on here. So I've now got both the pads back in position on the carrier straps. If you don't want the pads on, you can take them off. They're just there, that so if baby sucks on it, you can just wash the pads rather than having to wash the whole carrier. So now how you use it is exactly the same as how you'd have used it with a newborn. So if you know how to do that, you can just have a go. If you want to watch, then I can talk you through it. So just like with a newborn, how high you put the waistband will determine how tall the panel is. So the higher the waistband goes, the shorter the panel will be, because you'll have more of baby's bottom between you and the carrier before it comes up. So when this is higher, you'll have more fabric between you, so this will go shorter. When you move it down lower, you'll have less of the carrier between you and them, so it goes taller. So you can play about with different heights that are right for your baby. Now I haven't actually tried it with this size doll yet, so I'm going to be guesstimating, but I'm going to put this around my waist here and just tighten it up so it's snug but not uncomfortable. You want to make sure it's sitting level front to back. Now I'm going to be crossing the straps, so I just want to make sure that these are long enough that I will be able to tighten them, because you're not going to try to loosen them once you've got them over. So that one there is quite tight. I'm just going to lift this up and lengthen it out. If you've already been using it with them crossing, it's probably going to be fine, but if you need to check, you can just put these over your shoulders and cross them over and just check. If you do them up, do that one there, do this one here, and just check you've got enough space to comfortably get your baby in, and then do some tightening once they're in. Okay, and if you need to lengthen them, you lift the buckle here and you lift the clip here and you pull the buckle out like that. And if you need to tighten them off, you can do that. But yeah, you want them a little bit too loose rather than too tight. Okay, so I've got that on my waist, and if you need to, you can scrunch this in. It would depend on how big or small your baby is, but we can adjust it once they're in there. So I'm just going to make sure that's a little bit narrower. So this doll here is about 4-month-old baby size. So I'm going to give them a cuddle with their head on my chest and with their legs wrapping around. So at this sort of age, they start to wrap their legs around. So rather than being all tucked up at hip width, they're going into a slightly wider position. Obviously, it all depends on your baby's developmental stage. So however they would naturally curl their legs up, if they naturally want to keep them really tightened towards you, then obviously go with that. If they're going a bit wide around you, then you can have them like that. So give them a cuddle, head on your upper chest, to make sure the panel is sitting evenly between their legs. Then I'm going to slide my hand under the base of the panel and stroke it up over their bottom and back. Now with an older child, you want to make sure the carrier goes no higher than their earlobes, but once they've got full head control, it can go down to their armpits if they want. So if they like to have arms out over the top, you can have it down to armpits, or you can have it up to the nape of their neck. So this is coming up nicely to the nape of their neck there, but if I wanted it to come up to their armpits, I can either hold them very slightly lower, providing their head still on the upper part of my chest, slightly lower, so when I slide this up, it comes up to their armpits but no lower. Or the other option I have is, if I put baby down, if I put the waistband slightly higher like that, and then hold baby in the same position that I did initially, that means there's more of that panel between me and them because the waistband's higher. So when I slide it up, it will come up to their armpits. So it's entirely up to you. You can either adjust baby's height on your front, providing they're still got their head on the upper part of your chest and you're comfy, or you can adjust where the waistband goes by bringing it either higher or lower. But yes, you want it no higher than their earlobe, and once they've got full head control, no lower than their armpits. So I'm going to do arms out just because that's the position I'm in now. So I'm just going to bring baby's arm over here. Again, your baby can choose what to do. So put one strap over one shoulder. I'm going to hold baby with the other arm and then bring the strap under their armpit and over the other shoulder, like that. So just make sure this is all sitting nice and smoothly over their back and that all the slack is behind you. So this is nice and taut in front of you. And then just check it's coming up nicely to their armpits. So you keep hold of baby with one hand, and with the other you're going to reach round and grab a strap on the opposite side, so the one over here. Now you're going to bring this strap straight down to hold baby snug, and you should be able to see it's tightening on my shoulder. You put it straight down first and then you bring it across. And it's really important to put it straight down first rather than putting it diagonally across, because you want to make sure they're held nice and snug and the strap stays in place. So I've now got all the slack here and I'm going to plug this in. So it goes click, and then follow it back round and find the strap to tighten it, and you're going to pull this diagonally towards your hips, so it's going that direction like that. So get that one nice and snug, and then we're going to do the same with the other. Now I'm going to just show you what happens if I just pull this across here. Can you see I've hardly got any slack, and I can't really do this up because I've just pulled it straight across and I can't really reach. Whereas if I pull it straight down first, you can now see I've got lots of slack to plug this in. So it makes it much easier to pull the strap straight down before you go round. It also means it's nice and taut here, so all the slack is around here. So then when I tighten it and pull this around, it's tightening baby up nicely. Otherwise, if it's all really, really loose here, you can end up tightening it and it doesn't really tighten this part. So always make sure you bring your slack nicely around. Now, I can see this one here is a little bit loose, so I'm going to reach back round and find that one and just tighten it up across. So you can keep tightening each one up until baby is held nice and snug against you. The most important things with a baby of this age is, again, that you've got nice clear airways. You want them held nice and snug against you. And for a baby with full head control, you want it no lower than armpits, no higher than their earlobe. Now they can choose where they have their arms. They may want to have them in, they may want to have them out. Quite often they'll have one in, one out. Whatever works for them, as long as it's no lower than their armpits and they're nice and snug. Then have a little check of their leg position. So you want to make sure the carrier is fitting from one knee to the other, so the lower leg can hang straight down. So if it's going a little bit wide, you can just literally just cinch the fabric in like that. If it's not quite coming into their knees, you can bring it wider. So it's very adjustable, the width of this. So once they're in there, you can bring it wider or narrower. And you should be able to see from this position, you've got a nice curve to their bottom, so the knees are up above their bottom, ideally. And if they are wearing a sleep suit like this, just take hold of the toes of the fabric and just pull it away from their toes, just to make sure they've got a nice bit of space there. If you need to tighten it anymore, as I said, you reach round and you grab these two here, and you want to pull them diagonally, so you're pulling them down in that direction. Now if you find it hard to reach them, what I tend to find is when you've done the first one up, tuck the excess around here into the strap, because then you know if you do need to tighten it, it's right there. It also helps to tidy them away a little bit. So if you tuck them both in there, if you do need to tighten it, you can just grab them like that. And that's how to use the Mini Monkey baby carrier with a slightly older baby. So to take them out, you just reverse what you've done. So I'm going to hold baby with one hand and unclip one side, hold baby with the other and unclip the other side, and then bring the straps over either shoulder, and then you can lift your baby out. I hope that was helpful.